everyone, I just wanted to apologize ahead of time that while I was trying to film this video, there were some annoying lawn care workers outside my window working. I know it's their job, the weather's nice, but that was happening, so there might be some really annoying sounds in the background. Also, some of my neighbors in the hallway were talking very loudly, so that might also have been picked up. As you can see here in the clip, I am just waiting for them to go back into their apartment. So anyway, I just wanted to apologize for any weird loud background noises throughout this video, and let's get into it.
Hi, thank you for clicking on the video, and I hope everyone is doing really well. Calorie counting is actually a relatively modern concept. Some experts believe that it gained popularity around the turn of the 20th century. Around that time, it was a scientist named Wilbur Atwater who came up with a method of measuring the amount of energy found in food. His process was he would put food into a machine called a bomb calorimeter, and basically he would burn the food. He would actually use the ash and the heat produced from burning that food to calculate and measure the amount of energy released. From this method, calorie counting was born. From there, not only were people able to calculate and figure out the amount of energy found in food, but also the energy burned when doing physical activity. It was from that time on that the idea that it's all about calories was formed, and it's been ingrained in our minds ever since. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 questions. What is calorie counting, which should be pretty easy to answer? How does it work, which again should be pretty easy to answer? Does it work? What did I used to think of it, and what do I currently think of it? So let's get started with what is calorie counting. Simply put, according to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, calorie counting is a way of tracking the number of calories consumed with the goal of not eating too much. Calories are a form of measurement. Like yards and meters are a way of measuring distance, and ounces and grams are a way of measuring substances, calories are a way of measuring energy. More specifically, calories measure the amount of energy found in food and drinks. How does calorie counting work? It's good to begin by figuring out what your daily caloric needs are. Basically, that means the number of calories you need to stay alive. If you were to lay in bed all day for 24 hours and not move and not do anything, you still need calories because your organs and your body need energy to keep blood flow, keep your heart pumping, and keep your brain working and make sure everything is functioning properly. If you add activity to your day, then you're going to need more calories in order to have the energy to do those activities in addition to staying alive. The number of calories that you need to basically stay alive is kind of what you call your maintenance level. And depending on if you want to lose or gain weight, you either increase or decrease that number. So to lose weight, you would decrease your maintenance number of calories by maybe 1 or 200 every couple of days for however long your diet lasts without falling into kind of starvation levels of calories. That's about 1,200 for women and 1,800 for men. Anything below that is considered starvation and unsafe. From there, it's just a matter of tracking and counting every single calorie you consume. Does calorie counting even work? The big controversy, the big question that kind of plagues the weight loss world is a calorie a calorie? Are all calories equal? When it comes to weight gain or weight loss, yes, a calorie is a calorie is a calorie. However, when it comes to nutrients, vitamins, and minerals, the source of those calories makes a huge difference. Calorie counting makes you very aware of what and how much you are eating. So in a way, calorie counting works for weight loss. But does calorie counting deserve all the credit? Essentially, if you are losing weight while calorie counting, chances are you are very strict with what you're eating and you are very consistent when you are decreasing the number of calories that you're eating and you're really sticking to it. In other words, the success of calorie counting is based on your ability to eat less. So what did I think of calorie counting in the past? Many, many years ago, I thought calorie counting was my ticket to health. And like I've mentioned before, I have a very obsessive and addictive personality. And I really love mathematics and I love numbers. So, needless to say, calorie counting almost became like a game to me. I really enjoyed the calculations and I really enjoyed documenting everything. I really liked organizing it all and I loved trying to figure out and coming to that total. I definitely became obsessed with calorie counting. My happiness and success depended on my ability to be disciplined. I looked forward to figuring out that total at the end of the day. I loved the process and the concept of calorie counting, but unfortunately, I eventually became afraid of calories. I was afraid of the total number of calories getting too high. And I became afraid and I started to believe that calories equaled getting fat. And I think there lies the problem with calorie counting. It creates a false understanding of calories. I became extremely aware of the number of calories in things. It became an obsession, with the number gradually becoming smaller and smaller over time. I was obsessed with being able to control that number. Over time, as I started to shift my mental state towards recovery, I began to despise calorie counting. It was stupid and dangerous. I came to believe that as long as I stuck to healthy foods, calories didn't matter. And that's true to a point, but what happened when I wanted to eat junk food? Taking your obsession with calorie counting and switching it over to being obsessed with healthy foods leaves very little room for junky food. It leaves very little room for a balanced diet. Calorie counting is dangerous because it creates an obsession and a dependency on a number rather than our own natural ability to know when enough is enough. You focus so much on the number, you forget to listen to your own body. In many ways, our body tracks calories naturally. You just have to listen to it and tune into what it's telling you. So what do I currently think of calorie counting? I would still say that it is unnecessary, it's stupid, and it's dangerous. I continue to say it's dangerous if you are calorie counting for the wrong reasons and if you have unhealthy goals in mind. It's dangerous if you start doing it without educating yourself first on even just a basic understanding of nutrition and without knowing why calories are necessary. It's dangerous, so you should only calorie count for a short period of time and always on the side of caution. If you sense you are falling into a place of obsession and reliance, then you should probably stop calorie counting. As I mentioned, calorie counting can stem from or lead to a fear of calories. This kind of fear of calories stems from ignorance. It lacks the comprehension of the necessity and the practicality of calories. This can lead to believing that a calorie is a calorie no matter the source. But this kind of logic removes nutrients from the equation. Without a basic understanding of nutrition, you're actually lacking the skills and tools to use calorie counting correctly. I continue to say it is stupid because it is boring and time consuming. I think if you are completely unaware of how much you are eating, then maybe calorie counting is a good idea for a short period of time. It can help you make improvements in your diet, especially in areas where you are lacking nutrients. I continue to say it is unnecessary because it's unnecessary long term. Calorie counting should be something that you do for a short period of time where you pick up on your own patterns and eating habits. Eventually, you will naturally pick up on when you've reached your maintenance levels, making calorie counting no longer needed. And I actually have a sixth question that I'm going to answer, and it is, do I count calories? Currently, yes, I do. Through calorie counting with good intentions rather than sick intentions, I've come to learn a lot. I've come to learn that it's very hard to actually get enough calories when you are conscious of it. I also learned that before calorie counting, I was definitely getting way more calories than I needed. By cutting down in areas where I was overeating, for example, I used to eat a lot of rice. I am able to have more variety in my diet, and I am able to focus on making sure I'm getting the macronutrients that I need, and I am able to eat more in the areas where I was lacking nutritionally. I've learned what an actual serving size looks like, and I've learned that calorie counting isn't always a bad thing. Anyway, thank you so much for clicking on the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. For more videos about eating disorders and diets, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!